Hey, I've been getting a lot of questions about Wizard of Legend. Obviously, the game just came out, and I don't think a lot of the people who got early keys have actually done a whole lot with guides. One thing I can tell you is someone from the Wizard of Legend Discord, which the developers are in, he looked at my All Arcana Cloaks and Relics video, and he added all that information to the wiki. So I'm going to go ahead and link to the wiki. He also has the cursed items and the doctor items in there as well, which the game does not really give you a good resource to test those out. So you should go check that in the description if you want to know what the items do. Now the first thing, the biggest question I'm always getting is how do you get the Chaos Arcana? The Chaos Arcana are obtained by beating the game. Meaning that you just have to beat the game once and you'll get one, and if you do it 7 more times, you will get all the other ones. Now, it seems like the order for them is random. I confirmed this with some people in the Discord. You don't get these in a static order, it's completely random, so you might get the dash first, you might get the beam first, you might get the summon first. So either way, you're going to have to beat the game 8 times to get them all. They do not drop in dungeons at all, so the most you can have is whatever you start with. So if you decide to go with one in each category, you can. They all have signature versions except for the dash, obviously, because the dash is not an offensive move. So you can put any of these in your signature, or you can put them elsewhere. Like you can put that there, or I can put Blazing Blitz back on. You notice they're all here in the signature. Actually, there's 2 that you can't put in signature. Just the basic attack and the dash. Now, in terms of what items to start with, the great thing about this game is that there's so many different ways that you can play it just from changing your starting item. Some of the ones I recommend that I frequent, Dark Katana's good if you want to run a melee build. Pretty obvious reasons, it triples your crit chance. Nemo's Leaf, if you don't have the Chaotic Dash, this is definitely a good item to start with because it gives you invincibility frames during the dash, which is one of the biggest complaints right now. I think that they should come to a compromise, maybe give you some small iframes just for not having this item on. It definitely helps quite a bit. It is unlocked in the mid-game, so meaning like maybe a couple dozen items into the item or unlock pool, you'll get this. The Bracer of the Beast, I actually tested out the window on this. It's like the Moon of Mahakala from Bayonetta, but without the ease of use. You can't buffer the attack, meaning you can't, or parry, meaning that you can't just mash forward and parry it. You have to have like pinpoint timing, and it seems really difficult to parry multiple projectiles, so I think they need to buff this item a little bit. It's definitely not something you would start with. If you can get it during a run for free or something, it's I wouldn't say it's great, it's decent. The best thing about it is, much like the Moon of Mahakala, it actually does give you a signature meter. So if you parry a bunch, you can get a pretty significant boost to your signature meter and then just put out a super. Stygian Turtle Shell will prevent you from just getting bodied in the corner. Sometimes you'll just get like stuck in hit stun for a long time and take a bunch of damage. This item actually prevents that. Antiquated Tabi is good for evade chance, so if you have some other items or the cloaks that increase evade chance, you can make it so it's a lot harder to get hit. Hummingbird Feather is decent for the a lot of the pit rooms. The game does generate a lot of pit rooms right now. The game does not have a lot of room variety to begin with, so this can help quite a bit. It makes using the dash moves a lot more viable because some of them will take you off the pit and then other ones have protection, so this allows you to use all those items at your free will. Sano's Headband is great. This makes it so you have hyper armor while you're using a move, so if you're running a melee build, then this is definitely one of the best items to have. I usually start with this if I actually want to win the run, just because it gives me more freedom in what I want to use. Now, if you want to speedrun, the Pathfinder's map is definitely the best item. I don't think you can really feasibly speedrun this And in terms of getting a competitive time, I've seen at least 2 or 3 other people speedrunning this now. This is definitely the best item to start with because the level generation in this can be pretty trolly. Like sometimes you'll have like the shop or both shops right next to each other, and then the upper corner of the map will just be a complete dead end. So this is definitely one of the best items to get if you just want to clear. If you want to speed run and unlock things, it's probably one of the best items to start with as well, even if you're not into speed running. Glove of Midas combined with paying 20 gems at the beginning to the NPC can give you a lot of gold at the start, so you can really give your run and your build some identity right away. Now what the Insignia of Legend does is you get this after you finish the game once. What it does is it makes it so from the beginning of the game you're at level 3 difficulty. It's pretty difficult to even get to the first boss, let alone beat them. I kind of wish it had some kind of reward or something. I personally don't find it fun. It makes the game a slog, and you can't start with anything fun. But for those of you complaining that the game is too easy, which is honestly not many of you, most of people have been saying the game is too hard, then this is the item for you. Not much else here, though. Those are generally the items that you would want to start with if you actually want to win. The other ones are just more for, I guess you can call it identity. It's whatever you want to start with to make things different. Now I've got one more thing to explain here. Make sure if you have everything unlocked or if you have a decent amount of gems left over, you should definitely pay this NPC for the 200 gold coins because it will allow you to buy a bunch of stuff at the beginning. You can also talk to this dude and he'll make it so you start in a certain level at the beginning. So if you want to start in, say, the Earth level, which is, in my opinion, the hardest level 3 place to go to, then you can do that here. So I'm going to show what the end game or the end of mission or end of level gate does. And you see the skulls there? The skulls are how many enemies are left, and if you take them all out, then the boss summoning or the mini boss summoning gate will actually summon less enemies or less mooks. I didn't start with the map, I forgot to, so be able to see how less enemies will be summoned. So you generally want to find the Arcana shop and the regular shop first because that'll definitely show you what you have to work with. I generally full clear the first level because you know, you kind of have a bunch of money at the start, especially if you use the tips that I just mentioned, and you can kind of give your run some identity. I can tell you one of the most important things is to have your extra 2 slots, your extra Arcana slots full, because much like any other like action MMO that has cooldown, what's going to matter the most is having things in a constant rotation so that you're not just stuck with your basic attack. So Lightning Aspect upgraded is really good, so I'm just going to go ahead and grab that. Even though I'm not going to finish this run, I want to show like how much of a difference it makes to actually have the full moveset. or all of your Arcana slots full. See, right now it's got one skull, so it's not going to summon that many additional mooks. So you see, he only summoned 2 mooks. So let me go ahead and find the curse room here. See how much difference the Sanos headband is making. So she'll take one of your items and then shuffle it. I've never really found this to be worth it. It's definitely too much of a risk. I just lost my lightning aspect. And I got this, which is not really what I want. But there's also other NPCs that can spawn here. The Doctor will take one of your Arcana and give you one of her exclusive items. And the Cursed NPC is definitely the one that you want the most because he gives the best buffs. But yeah, that's basically some frequently asked questions that I've been getting for Wizard of Legend. I figured instead of just answering them in the comments, I'd answer them in video form, since there are some that people have not been asking that are not really widely known information. I'm going to go ahead and link to the wiki. Like I said, that guy, with permission, he took my video and he pretty much put all that information in text form. It's also on the Reddit as well, so I'm going to go ahead and link to that. There's some information there as well. Anyway, I hope this helps all new Wizard of Legend players, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.